Hey everyone, it's Ivan. Today I'm going to be going over another tutorial for Parabig Core, which is our open source Figma to Flutter converter. Oftentimes when you're creating a large-scale Flutter project, you may want to isolate your UI code into its own separate package. However, testing UI can become a very tedious process. The reason why is because you often either need to traverse to the location in your application where that UI can be tested, or you have to create temporary changes in your code base just so you can test that UI. This is why we made it an automatic integration with Widgetbook, which is an open source Flutter project that allows you to easily test your UI code, whether it's a screen or component, through a dictionary-like interface. If you've ever used a tool like Storybook, it's very similar to that. Let's jump in. Just open up VS Code or your favorite code editor. And you're gonna wanna open up Parabig Core. In this case, I have it right here. Then in here, you're gonna wanna head over to lib, the configurations folder, and then configurations.json. In here, you're gonna wanna change the component isolation property set to the string widgetbook, and then hit save. Now that this is saved, Parabig Core will actually export the project using Widgetbook. So then we can head over to the terminal and we can actually run Parabig Core now. In this case, I have a command saved here. So it's gonna be dart, parabig.dart, and then the -f is gonna link to our Figma file. So before we do that, we can go ahead and take a look at the Figma file that I'm using today. I'll link the Figma file in the description. You're able to duplicate it just by hitting this button right here, and then you can use it yourself. And it's a fairly simple, just a one page with a bunch of components in it. And we're gonna run this through Parabig. So -f is the file ID, which is found here. This is my personal API token that I'm using temporarily. And then -o is for me to set up where I wanted to export it. In this case, I wanted to export it to the desktop. And then the -n flag is the name. And in this case, it's gonna be Parabig Widgetbook example. So I'll hit enter and start running Parabig Core, and we'll wait on the conversion. Cool. Now that Parabig Core is done running, we can open up the project. So I see that here on my desktop I have the new project. So, and I actually have a link to that already. So I just opened up the project. We can see in here we have lib, and we have main.dart, and then we have a main widgetbook.g.dart, which normally isn't there, but it is there because of the configuration. And we notice that there's a couple errors, and that is just because we haven't run Flutter pub get yet. So I'm just gonna come into here and run Flutter pub get. Cool, that should repair all the errors. And then the next thing we're gonna wanna do is actually just run that widgetbook. So it's gonna be Flutter run, and then rather than just hitting enter right away, you're gonna go lib main_widgetbook.g.dart, and then hit enter. Now we'll wait to run it in Google Chrome. Great, now that we're here, we can start testing the UI widgets that were produced by Parabig. So in here, we're seeing these components these widgets being ran in an iPhone 11 Pro Max. You can switch to different devices to make sure that it scales correctly, scales the way that it was intended. If you describe the way the constraints or auto layout should work in Figma, we print it out exactly the same way into Flutter. And yeah, so we can see all these components. We can also change the device frame. We can also just switch it to no frame, which in this case is a little bit hard to see because there's no background color. But yeah, this is Widgetbook, and we're really excited to be supporting this now. The next thing you're going to want to do is head over to the component isolation video that one of our partners did, and learn how to start adding the logic to these widgets so that you have it prepared to integrate with an actual application, and you can override the logic and stuff. So thank you so much.